I'm Fiddlin' Phil, author of the Fiddlin' Phil Strings Teaching Method. This is a series of completely free video violin lessons that we are presenting to you, Fiddlin' Phil Productions. You can purchase the complete book with backing CD at our website. It's available there at the moment for postage within Australia, but the other thing we're going to offer is you can purchase and download the files just for each violin lesson. However, each of the files relating to this introductory lesson are available for completely free download at our website at the address indicated below. So first of all, let's have a look at the violin. You'll notice the thing that just fell off there is a shoulder rest. It's a really good idea to have one of these. So when you're holding it up on the left shoulder blade, but not pointing too far out here, not right in front of you like some people do, just here comfortably. Now it's better to play standing up, but for the purpose of this video, because I can't get the camera far enough back, I'm sitting down. So make certain that if you are sitting, you are nice and straight in the back, comfortable. Standing, likewise, standing nice and tall and quite relaxed. It's better to hold the violin here when we start using the left hand fingers, but for the moment, if you're not quite used to it, you can hold the violin here just like this. So you should feel pretty comfortable with your shoulder rest adjusted. So hold your violin up like this if you're ready to start, and we do encourage you to go out and find a teacher. These video lessons are not meant to be a replacement for an authentic and good teacher, but we hope that these lessons might get people fired up to go out and get a violin, find a teacher and to get started. You'll notice too that I've got my violin bow down on the desk next to me. I'm not going to be using the violin bow in this lesson. It's not a good idea when you're just learning how to hold the violin and learning what the open strings are to start using the bow just yet. That will come in lesson 2, but if you are by that stage learning from a teacher, the teacher will tell you when you're ready to start using the bow. I'm going to progress a bit quickly in these video lessons. So here we go. Refer to the strings, the open strings and the picture of the violin, but I'm going to point to them here. Place your right hand thumb on the edge of the fingerboard like so. Just bring your elbow up a little bit so you can pick which string you are going to pluck, or pizzicato is the other name that is used by a violinist when they are plucking a string. Okay, the G is the thickest string over this side. So pluck that with me now, just have a look at it. Okay, and the next one is D. Have a look at the music that you hopefully by now have downloaded for free from our site. The A string, and of course the E string. Now I'm going to play some notes here on the keyboard. I'm just going to hold the violin down here in what we call rest position, and how to tune the violin. There is the A, and I pluck it, and I've already tuned my violin, but you can, good idea to have adjusters on all of your strings. If you turn it out like that, and you turn it until it sounds the same. Eventually it's a good idea that you learn how to pluck your strings and hear when it's correct, but that takes a lot of practice. So for the moment you can play those. You can use an electronic tuner. I prefer to listen and hear when it's right. G, as I indicated before, D, A and E. Okay, they're all tuned correctly, so we won't waste any time with that. But the best thing to do with tuning the violin is to experiment with that, practice it, because it's no good if it doesn't sound right. Okay, so that's another good reason for having a good teacher. They can help you tune it, but great idea if you learn how to tune it yourself. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do, by this time you should be looking at the music, Introduction to the Violin. It's labelled page 10, track 2 on the CD, but for these free lessons, of course, it's a separate download. Introduction to the Violin. The first stave of music just names the notes, and you learn to see where each one is. Okay, now I'll just put that up on the screen there. Okay, you've had a look at that if you haven't downloaded already. The next stave of music has some markings there to do with moving the bow. We're not going to worry about that. So the notes are what we call minims, not coloured in with a stick on them. There are 2 pulses. Now I'm just going to, as I mentioned before, place my thumb here and I can pluck each one. First of all there's 2 G's, then 2 D's, then 2 A's and 2 E's. If you use the MP3 Introduction to the Violin Open Strings, you can play this as I'm about to do. Listen to the count in. Now hear what I mean by 2 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems very easy, but I'm presuming that you haven't played the violin before, and that's an excellent start. Now I think on the MP3 file it plays through about 10 times. Now here's a little tip. I'll just go back in rest position again. If you can't read music, if you haven't learned how to read music, here's your chance. It's very easy to do. Just like when you're a little kid and you learned at school how to recognise first of all letters of the alphabet, then words, then you can put sentences together. Learning to read music is like that. And just like learning to read when you were little, you heard the sounds that the letters and the words made. So that's the way that I teach. And that's the way I teach the relationship between the written music and the sound then that we learn to read. And we learn to read and we hear the sounds. That's why the backing track is so important. We hear the sounds that we want to make. We relate that to what it looks like in the music. So here's the tip. Always, whether you're plucking or using the bow, look at each note on the worksheet as you play it. Look at each note as you play it. And it's very easy to do.